Hey race fans, Alex Weaver here, following a race at New Hampshire Motor Speedway where Brad Keselowski got the win. It's his third win of the 2020 season. I'm now going to welcome in our championship winning crew chief, Cole Pearn. Cole, Brad has talked about that he wanted to put together a solid race where he felt like he didn't have that many mistakes. He said that New Hampshire was it. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. They knocked it out of the park. They've been, super consistent for the pretty much the whole season, but their wins that they've got were kind of more on Chase Elliott screw-ups more than anything. So for them to go out and just take it to the field and win, that's what they finally did yesterday. And, last week we talked about it, and I put them in my championship 4, and there they go and prove that they deserve to be there. So I think, that was a huge confidence boost for them, because it's always when you're running consistent, it's a good feeling, but you never know if you have the speed to go out and take it. And yesterday they showed it.
But on the flip side of things, we know that racing has the highs and the lows. Kyle Busch, what is happening in 2020? Because his bad luck continues every single weekend.
Oh, and it rains and pours, but they had the pedigree car yesterday, which always seems to be bad for them for whatever reason. Every time they run that paint scheme, they wreck. So something about dog food and them just doesn't mix. But yeah, I feel for them. It just sucks when you get on those stretches, but they got some good tracks coming up for them, and it's just hard with this deal. It's so easy to make a mistake with no practice and that side of things, or I don't know exactly what caused the tire failure yesterday, but man, those guys they're bleeding, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, a team that was bleeding on Sunday at New Hampshire as well, which I'm surprised that I'm saying this, he brought out 3 cautions, was Matt Kenseth. You don't typically see a veteran driver bring out that many cautions in a race, but I know he was ready. He was just ready to go home.
Yeah, I think Matt's old school short track racer, so he'd be all about the 3-spin rule and then you're out. So I don't know, tough day for him. I bet he's questioning what the heck he got himself into, but I don't know. They're hopefully they turn around. They've had some bright spots, but yesterday was definitely not one of them.
We saw something different, however, at New Hampshire with the PJ1 and how it was applied. So I want to know if that got the Cole Pearn seal of approval.
Oh, absolutely. I thought it was great. Everyone was a little bit squirrely at the beginning of the race. Normally you see that at the beginning of practice, that PJ1 needs to be heat activated. So when it's cold and it's been sitting, it's like ice. So I think once they got some laps under it, it came around. And then I just love how the groove moved around. The main kind of outside groove got worn out a bit, and then everyone was wrapping the line searching for the fresh PJ1 on the bottom, which I thought was cool to see. We haven't seen that at New Hampshire. So, and then even at the end of the race, the middle line, like which used to be the old main line, was running well, because it's like both grooves had kind of worn out, and the 4 was making really good time running the middle. So I think that's sweet when you got a groove that causes guys to move around and gives options. And I know we had a long green flag run to the end, but up until that point, there was great side-by-side racing, better than I think we've seen in years past at New Hampshire.
Well, Cole, you mentioned that long green flag run, especially at the end, and we saw even the bubble trouble already starting, and it was the battle between the Hendrick Motorsports camp and them battling each other to get points for the end of the race.
Yeah, I think it's a great storyline to follow. We're so used to seeing HMS compete between teammates for championships, and here they are competing to make the playoffs. So the intensity never goes away, and that's the great thing about racing. But last week we talked about the 21 and the 48. When were they going to stop the bleeding? Well, they both had good runs yesterday, so that was good for both of them. Even the 48 recovering from a spin to get a good finish. So. I think we got some wild cards coming up here with, the double headers and the 2 Daytonas. So who knows what's going to happen. I still think there's a lot of racing left and it's tight. So I think we're going to be watching every week to see what goes on.
Well, we're going to the Fast Track of Michigan for a doubleheader this upcoming weekend. It's going to be interesting. Make sure you tune into NBC SN on Saturday and Sunday for the NASCAR Cup Series. Cole, thank you for breaking down New Hampshire.
Thanks, Alex.